What if I told you the United States could become the biggest surprise of FIFA 2026? Stop laughing. This isn't just about being the host nation anymore. It's about a team that is finally actually clinical. We've watched the Giants fall before, but this time the Stars and Stripes aren't just looking for a participation trophy. They are hunting for silver. Let's look at the facts. While the rest of the world was sleeping, the US MNT just sent a shockwave through the international community. A 4-1 demolition of Paraguay, a dominant 2-0 shutout against Australia. They didn't just win. They controlled the tempo, dictated the play, and secured a spot in the round of 32 before the group stage even concluded. But can they actually go all the way? Think about the atmosphere. Imagine 80,000 people screaming in a stadium in Arlington or East Rutherford. That's not just home field advantage, that's a psychological weapon. And the players? This isn't the squad of 1994. These guys are starting in the Premier League, Serie A, and the Bundesliga. They aren't intimidated by big names because they play against them every single Saturday. Christian Pulisic isn't just a poster boy anymore. He's a veteran leader in his prime. Weston McKennie is a midfield engine that simply does not quit. And the depth? It's deeper than we've ever seen in the history of the Federation. But here's the scary part for the rest of the world. They are getting better every single game. The chemistry is clicking at the exact right moment. We've seen Greece win the Euros, we've seen Leicester City win the Premier League. Why is it so hard to believe that on home soil, with a generation of talent that has nothing to lose and everything to prove, the United States could lift that trophy? The pressure is usually on the Brazils and Argentinas of the world. But in 2026, the US is the wild card that nobody wants to draw in the knockout rounds. They are fast, they are fit, and for the first time in history, they are completely fearless. This isn't just about soccer growing in America anymore. This is about American players earning the respect of the entire planet. If they can maintain this momentum, if they can keep that defensive line as tight as they did against Australia, and if the finishing remains as lethal as it was against Paraguay, then the world needs to prepare. Because the dream of a historic run isn't just a dream for the fans in the stands. It's a mission for the 26 men on the pitch. The round of 32 is just the beginning. The real question isn't whether they belong there. The question is, who is actually going to stop them? This is the moment where the underdog story ends and the contender story begins. You see, for decades, the world has viewed US soccer as a sleeping giant that never quite woke up. But look at that performance against Paraguay. That wasn't luck. That was a tactical masterclass. They exploited every gap, won every second ball, and finished their chances with a ruthlessness we haven't seen from this program in decades. Then they followed it up by dismantling a disciplined Australian side. They didn't blink. They didn't falter under the weight of expectation, they just executed. And that's what changes the conversation. When you have a team that believes they can win, and a home crowd that refuses to let them lose, the impossible starts to look inevitable. Critics will say, they haven't faced a European powerhouse yet. They'll say the knockout rounds are a different beast. And they're right. But here's where it gets interesting. The US thrives in chaos. They thrive when the stakes are highest and the lights are brightest. They have the athleticism to outrun the technical teams and the physicality to hold their own against the bruisers. But wait, there's more to this than just physical stats. There's a tactical flexibility now that didn't exist 4 years ago. They can sit deep and counter with lightning speed, or they can press high and force mistakes in the opponent's defensive third. That versatility is what wins tournaments. Every 4 years we talk about the dark horse. We talk about the team that comes out of nowhere to disrupt the established order. Usually, it's a team like Croatia or Morocco. But in 2026, the dark horse is wearing red, white, and blue, and they have the entire continent behind them. This isn't just hype. This is a statistical reality. Their goal conversion rate is up. Their expected goals against is down. They are winning the transition battles that decide big games. And let's talk about that early qualification. To move into the round of 32 with games to spare is a luxury that allows for rotation and rest. It means they won't be burnt out when the real pressure starts. It means they have the tactical breathing room to prepare for whoever comes next. The momentum is building like a freight train. You can feel it in the cities, you can see it in the eyes of the players, and you can hear it in the way the international media is starting to change their tune. They aren't talking about if the US will advance anymore. They are talking about who can actually beat them. Imagine the scene. The quarterfinals, the semifinals, each game becoming a national event that stops the country in its tracks. The energy would be unlike anything the sport has ever seen on this side of the Atlantic. And that energy feeds the players. It turns tired legs into sprinting machines. It turns a good save into a legendary moment. We are watching the birth of a new era. An era where the United States doesn't just show up to the World Cup, but they show up to dominate it. The path is set, the talent is there, the home crowds are ready to erupt, and after those wins against Paraguay and Australia, the message to the rest of the world is loud and clear. Don't look past us, don't underestimate us, and definitely don't think for a second that we're just here to host the party. We're here to take the trophy. The journey to the final begins now, and for the first time ever, the world is starting to realize that the United States might just be the team to beat. It sounds crazy until it happens. It sounds like a dream until the final whistle blows and the confetti starts falling. But if you've been paying attention to these last few matches, you know this isn't a fluke. It's an evolution. And in 2026, that evolution might just culminate in the greatest sporting achievement in American history. The world is watching. The stage is set. Let the games begin.